Dun 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 dun.
Hello.
It's the finale.
The finale episode for the Shepherd King Duology by Rachel Gillig. We made it.
We did.
It took us a long time, but we made it.
And it was an adventure.
So today, even though this is a finale episode, we still have chapters to go over.
Yes. The ending.
Yeah, chapter 39, all the way to the end. Which, when I was doing my notes, I hadn't realized. I was like, oh, a lot happens.
Yeah, a lot does happen.
We're just doing the last segment. And then I'm like, whoa, okay. There's a lot here. There's a lot.
Many things still happen.
So I got to edit myself. Now, a lot of pressure today because you had the finale drink.
Yes, I did. And
tell us about it.
It's the Twin Alders. That's what it's called. Because obviously this is what...
That's the journey.
Yes, this is the journey. This is the thing that we've needed the entire time. We finally get it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had it on here, it's supposed to be kind of greenish looking, which was my plan. I was like, oh, I want the greenish. And then with the setup, we did candles because it happens on winter solstice.
Oh, I didn't think of that. I just thought you liked candles.
I do really love candles. It didn't really turn out green though, guys.
Purple is similar to green, Jamie.
Yeah. So you really just have to, mix that a bit. So the recipe...
if you want to do it the right way.
Yeah. Is 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1.5 ounces of blue curacao. I'm pronouncing it right, Christina.
You mean Caraco?
Caraco. That's how I would say
Caraco,
it. Until your friend texts you and says, guys.
Tomato.
And 3 ounces of pineapple juice, which ended up being pineapple orange juice because...
That's what we had.
That's what I had. And a teaspoon-ish of grenadine. Yeah, so really the only change was the pineapple juice, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it your favorite drink in the world?
No, it was not. It didn't really...
Was it bad?
It was just too sweet. It was the juice part. I feel like it needed less of the juice for me. I also, in the video, you're supposed to put it all in a shaker and pour it.
We stirred it, didn't shake it.
Yeah.
I mean, would it taste different, though?
It might. It probably would have been, mixed properly.
Well, on this podcast, effort is what matters and beauty. Effort and beauty. Yeah. Never accuracy.
No.
Or quality.
Sometimes it just works out that way.
Yeah.
So probably wasn't my favorite, but that's fine.
No, not my favorite, but it's still not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
No. Didn't smell like feet.
Our standards are high,
I also really just want to take a picture of you right now. It's a bit chilly in the basement.
Yes.
So Christine just has a white blanket. Instead of draped forward around, it's backward. So you just look like a big, I don't even know, like a pile of mashed potatoes or something.
It's all I've ever wanted to be.
It's a look. I almost want to give you a hat and then a glass of wine.
You should try
a cold older lady on the beach.
I would 100% be the old lady with the big blanket on a beach while everyone is swimming.
But a scarf, but it's a scarf, but it's a big scarf that can also keep you warm.
I have one of those. Yeah. If you could make mashed potatoes my new nickname and then try to spread it, and it'll be like a social experiment to see how well it spreads.
Please call Christine mashed potatoes from now on. That would be great.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the book, I guess.
Okay. Oh, now you're gonna have to take your hands out.
Just one.
Okay, so we start off by meeting
the spirit of the wood.
Not what I expected.
Absolutely not what I expected.
I was like, oh, you have a tail?
A tail, claws, ears long and pointed, short, jagged, fang-like teeth. Not human or beast, but something between, like the monster depicted on the nightmare card, only her eyes were silver. What I thought during this scene was how I like how Rachel Gillig's writing is a little bit offbeat. I remember reading it the first time that it did feel a little bit different from what I had been reading. And she does it in like subtle ways, and she's really atmospheric, and I felt like surprising, like even just a description of the Spirit of the Wood, you're like, what the fuck is happening? And not in a bad way.
Yeah.
You're just like, what?
It's true. Then when she pulls the card out of her stomach,
just gouges out her stomach to get the Twin Alders card.
Like, and the description of it, I was like, what is happening?
And why?
Yeah. That's where it's the safest.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's, yeah. Like,
keep things in your belly. Yeah. All right.
I did really just enjoy that part, though. It sounded disgusting, but I loved it.
Yeah, pretty neat. So Raven gets to talk to the Spirit of the Wood alone.
Yeah. And again, she like holds out the card to him. And I said this to you earlier. I'm confused at what the card actually does.
Yeah. And I said, and then I also didn't realize that I didn't know either. And I didn't know that I didn't know.
Yeah, because you did try to answer it. Then you realized
and then I was like, I'm talking about the wrong thing. So no, I don't have the answer to the question as to what the Twin Alders card does.
I am going to Google it really quick. I did mean to.
Oh, that's a good idea. Google will tell us. Because we're not smart.
Okay. What? The Twin Alders card is the power to commune with the Spirit of the Wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody knows what happens if you use the Twin Alders for too long, obviously.
Yeah, you lose your sense of time.
Yeah. But
okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But I feel like they were also, because he said I heard that voice again, so they kind of were still speaking to it.
Who? What are you talking about?
Because like when they got to like the beach part.
Yeah, I guess.
But I guess he tapped it and then but then he was like taken back in time. So I guess it's probably being able to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But it makes sense with that card. So she has the Twin Alders card and it's access to her. So once the Shepherd King made that card with her, it was like he was stuck. He couldn't communicate with her anymore. And he also couldn't unite the deck.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
All right. So the Spirit of the Wood tries to trick Raven. And...
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Before that happens, when he like goes... Okay, you do kind of have it. But I just like the nightmares like you would...
You would die for Elspeth?
You would...
In her place.
But he also says like in my place. And that was just kind of a cute moment. I feel like they have some cute moments, Raven and Nightmare, and that was just kind of one of them. When he's like, oh, but you would also do it like in my place too. Like,
yeah, so Raven was when they're talking about when they eventually unite the deck and someone has to bleed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Raven's like, obviously I'm gonna do it. Okay. So anyway, the Spirit of the Wood is trying to offer him up deals and is like, you could save everyone. Or you could have the throne. And of course, Raven is like, oh, such a good man.
Well, he was also like, warned to like before before he went in. He's like, watch like your work, like, you know what I mean?
Don't let her trick you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then he gets a riddle. And I thought that would be my worst nightmare. I absolutely cannot answer a riddle.
No, I'd be so stressed.
Don't you dare ask me one. No. I can't do it.
I won't.
It's not my thing.
Just stay here with you in this time.
So the riddle is, the dark bird has 3 heads, highwayman, destroyer, and another, one of age, of birthright. Tell me, Raven, you, after your long walk in my wood, do you really know your name? And Raven has that memory of Emery previously, and I remember back to our episode when we were talking about that. We're like, listen to him. Listen to Emery. He's a smart boy. Yeah. And now Raven's like, oh, I should have.
Okay, but I was at this part. She's like, oh, here's the riddle. But then she pretty much just like gives him the answer.
I thought that as well. And it's also like, yeah, here's the clues. And it's like, oh, okay.
But am I going to show you
so you want him to win.
Yeah. Which, yes. I also did enjoy how she referenced back how she liked how he had spoken about her to Elspeth.
What?
When he said, she said something how you described her, and it's like you said to her, magic sway like salt water on tide. I believe the spirit is the moon commanding the tide. She pulls us in, but also sets us free. She's neither good nor evil. She's magic, balance, eternal.
And she's like, she's flattered.
Yeah, she liked that. She's like, that's how I want people to see me. And liked that that's how he...
Mm-hmm. So clue 1, upon solstice, the spirit said, the deck of cards will unite under the king's namesake tree. That tree is not a rowan. That is your first clue. Okay. And then clue 2, we see Brutus Rowan murder Taxus and the Shepherd King. And then we see Brutus try to murder Bennett. Now, so Bennett looks like his father, dark hair, tall, angular, a distinct beak-like nose. The only difference is in the eyes, not yellow but gray. And then Brutus tries to use a scythe on him. It doesn't work. Obviously, we know already that Bennett has the same magic as Raven, where he's not able to use all the cards, and then Bennett grabs and rips it in half.
Can I read that part? I enjoyed it. Bennett closed the distance between them and ripped the scythe from Brutus's hand. Then, as if it were truly no more than paper and velvet, he took the indomitable red card, smiled up at Brutus, and tore the scythe in half. Like, he was like a superhero. It continued on. I'm not going to read it. But I was like, yes, Bennett.
Yeah, and it also gave us insight into what Raven's power was. I think it's not quite confirmed in this moment, but it will very soon. But
yes.
And then, of course, the answer is Taxus. My name is Taxus.
What?
Which I realize now, I...
Oh, and it was also kind of cool just to see Bennett then, like, leave, go have a family.
Right.
That kind of part of it. I did like that it showed that.
Yeah, he did not die. He was the only survivor.
Yeah, which I hadn't really thought about.
Then some other stuff. There was this cute little moment with the Nightmare and Elspeth. Elspeth says, I had no way to hold him, but I pressed my consciousness against the wall of our shared mind, whispered to him, no more riddles, my friend. What is it that you truly want? And he says, to keep on rewriting things. 11 years I took from you, Elspeth Spindle. When I go, I am to leave you a better blender than the one I forged as king.
Aww.
They get so cute in this last.
They
There'll be more
do.
That I want
there
to bring
was
up,
so many parts where I was
yeah.
just like, you too, stop.
And then the Nightmare and Raven get to talk more about how they're related. So we finally get this realization. I do realize, too, that I might have gave away the last episode with the yew tree and the Taxus. Because remember, I'm like, oh, the yew tree and the Taxus tree. I talked about it. I didn't realize that it came up.
Oh.
So the quote that we get in the last part of the book is, Blender families have always taken names of trees, but I have never heard of a tree called Taxus. That's because it's an old name for an old twisted tree, like the last line of a poem, the truth fell into place, a yew tree. So a Taxus tree is, yew tree is a Taxus tree.
Yes.
So I gave that away.
I didn't realize it. And that still confuses me how you said it, so you're good.
What?
I didn't realize that. You
didn't make the connection between the Nightmare and... Okay, well...
I didn't realize that that a yew tree was a Taxus tree. You just said that right now.
Yeah, but I said in the last episode.
Yeah,
I gave the you'd have no recollection.
I just didn't click into what it actually meant when you said it.
Okay. We've read this book before, just to remind everyone.
It's wild.
Wow.
I love when they're also just talking about... He's like, your barter, all it cost me was my name. And he's like, your name, you know it already. Raven looked deep into Nightmare's eyes. It's yours after all. For some reason, that made me like super emotional reading it. And I was like, oh, that's like his great-great-grandson.
Great.
Yeah. And then they follow it up by him like discussing him like putting it together. He's like, oh, because of this and this. He's like, and along with your nose. Yeah. Like, oh, you had to point that out.
The cards and your nose.
Yeah.
And then they snap out of it.
Yes.
And they're like, we're just having a conversation. Wait, it's been 24 days, you guys.
But they finally come out and they realize, like, oh, it's snowing. There's snow on the ground.
Yeah, but he forgot to untap the Twin Alders card.
Yes.
And they're just like having this chat about how we're related. And it's like, guys, you have no sense of time because of this card.
Side note, kind of, entire time how the Nightmare's carrying Jesper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's very fond of her.
Yeah, like, and cradling her like a child. And it's talking about how she's over his shoulder going through the woods. But I'm like, I love that this is also like Elspeth's body.
Right, the visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Elspeth, very, very dirty with like short chopped hair.
And no one else can hold her.
Yeah.
No. I just really enjoyed that visual.
So funny.
We also do find out that he left his sister in a glen, which was kind of depressing. He does reference that part when he's talking to Elsbeth.
Yeah, he couldn't carry her or something. Okay, dark stuff. But this whole journey home, I thought was a little outrageous. It was just like so quick, right? Like the entire book is the journey there,
yes.
and then the journey back is like bloop. Which I'm complaining a little bit, where I'm like, that was so fast, but then I'm also like, I didn't want to read it either, so I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, we didn't need that.
And then we forget that Peter's been waiting there the whole time. Also, Peter, they're just like, oh, your brother died. Bye. See you never. And then they're like, oh yeah, Peter.
Right.
We left him outside for 24 days. I guess that's it. Other than this is where they find Ione.
Yes, and she's been hanging out there for a while too. And she tells her little story, how the crows found her, which is always exciting.
Well, you love crows. You would love for the crows to find you and guide your way.
No. Oh, there is... Okay, I don't know why, just this part. He's like, not yet, Raven reminded him. 6 await in the chamber. We need to get back before midnight. Then we can unite the deck. He set his jaw and did not say the words, haunting his tongue. With my blood. I just envision him at that point, like, side smirking to the camera. Being like, with my blood, but like in his mind.
This is turned into The Office?
Yeah.
The nightmare is the gym?
No, it's Raven.
Oh, okay, no. The nightmare needs to be Jim.
Yeah.
I feel like the nightmare needs to be Jim, and then he treats Raven like,
Rain. But Dwight.
Dwight, yes. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Elm and Ione?
Mm-hmm.
Elm and Ione.
Okay, I hated this part. It was so sad.
So sad.
Yeah.
Mean guy Hoth is back.
Yeah, and Elm finally gets in trouble for not keeping track of his goddamn keys.
Come on, Elm.
This whole time.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, something was going to happen bad with those keys.
Yeah, he kept mentioning how he was not good at taking care of them.
So Hoth plays a game.
What?
Oh.
No, he just stabs her.
Yeah. But no, he was playing it like for him. He's like, let's do a test. If I stab you through the heart, will the maiden card still save you?
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's totally fine.
Really messed up and sad.
Yeah, I do like the moment where King Rowan comes in and he's just like so wasted. And he's like, "My boy." You're like, "Come on, man."
Yeah. And I also just was like,
floor.
Hoth is the only person who comes back from pretty much like death and is not a better person, but a worse person.
Well, I'm sure there's some examples. Maybe nobody talks about it.
Yeah, like usually, like it's like, oh my god, I almost died.
Yeah, I realized the error of my ways.
No, I'm gonna come back and be worse than I was.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And then he does this fun thing where they go and have dinner. It's like, hey, I'm alive. Let's have my celebratory dinner.
And he doesn't. My favorite part is he doesn't attribute like him being better to like the maiden card or anything.
What are you talking about?
Like, I guess when he's like speaking and everything, and Elm's like, he didn't attribute his sudden recovery to anything but himself.
Oh, at the dinner, you didn't tell everyone else.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, look at it was all me.
Healed.
I healed. I'm back. I came back from and like no reference to it was actually.
Yeah, I mean the audacity, I kind of respect.
Right, I'm not shocked by it. Just like I'm like you would do that.
And he also gave this speech, and I was like, he's not wrong. Like, it's really bad. It's really like a villain speech. And he goes, all your life you fretted over the Twin Alders. He's talking to his dad.
Oh, yeah.
All your life you fretted over the Twin Alders card, lifting the mist, healing the infection, when in truth, it is the mist, the infection that feeds the throne. People fear the mist. They fear the physicians and the destroyers who come to their doors to root out the infection. No one has challenged a Rowan in 500 years because of fear. And now you've gone and given Raven you a way to undo all of that. What's more, your beloved infected captain is coming back with more than the Twin Alders card. He's coming back with the goddamn Shepherd King.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. That is, if you're wanting to be an evil dictator, you got it.
Yeah.
You're on the right track, Hoth. Yeah. Smart man.
If you want to be a good person and actually help people.
Yeah, not so much.
Not the right direction. This does follow up with him also using the scythe he's using it the entire time. And Elm just says, he's like, the scythe kept him rigid, compelling him forward. This is when he's making him go. And I was just like, does he just look like a robot?
Yeah, and nobody's...
Right? Like, why is he walking like that? Because, like, you're probably, like, trying to fight it, and, like, you can't... Oh, it'll just be weird. But I guess they must be used to it. But it was just a weird vision. And then poor Ione in her gray clothing again.
And then Hoth is like, I'm going to kill my dad.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm just going to kill my dad. And then the king...
He had some fight in him.
He did. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe this was like, he realized that he liked the wrong son. It's like, Elm, help me. Or he's just like, I don't know.
Well, no, he gave him the Scythe card.
He did, but I was like, oh, maybe he's realizing that he likes the wrong son. But I'm like...
I think he liked them both, but realized he really shouldn't have put as much faith in the first one, that he liked more.
Yeah, that one was evil.
Yeah.
The first son is evil.
Then he killed you.
Yeah.
So that really didn't work out well for you.
They do escape. Ione and Elm escape.
Yes.
But then Elm goes back. Then we get some scenes with Elm as prisoner.
Yeah, and I forgot that the dads were still around.
We just forgot about the dads. The dads are just dying in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do get a little bit of context for why they're both bad dads.
Yeah. Tyrion, I was just like, please stop talking, pretty much. Everything he said. I'm like, oh my god. Ooh, and before you get to that part, he says, which this was just like so specific that I just needed to say it. He's like, every bit of skin, every hair follicle felt like a rotten tooth, a raw nerve exposed. He was cold in ways that felt physically impossible. Is that like description? It's such an odd description, but I'm like, you can totally like...
It sounds awful.
I know, but I was like, what? Just, that's such a great... I just love her writing. Mm-hmm. And the way she like describes things, where I read that, I'm like, I totally get that. Like, that's such a specific way where I'm like, I understand what you're saying.
Basically, Daddy Spindle is just his wife that he misses so much is that his wife that passed away, Elspeth's mom. She got infected. She tried to hide it from him, but then she degenerated. Well, because he was captain of the Destroyers.
So she hid it from him.
Yeah, so she had to hide it from him.
He's pretty much just done nothing his entire life, is what he's found out about her. Did nothing. Found out about Elspeth and kind of just sent her away. I mean, I guess that's all he really could have done, but still had like no relationship with her. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah. The reason I included this is because I it's not like some parts of that is not surprising or not new, right? And it's what we thought.
Yeah. You're
so heartbroken that you're kind of like shutting yourself off from your family, and then because Elspeth is the remaining family, she gets cut off as well, which is a bit cowardly, right?
Yeah.
But I liked how he said, I began to hate myself, to hate my destroyers and the laws we upheld. In my heart, I was a traitor. He just was a sad, sad man.
Yeah. And I do like when he talks about how he saw her and Raven together and realized that Raven wasn't the same.
Right.
Which was nice.
Yeah, that wasn't the cold captain of the destroyers that he thought.
Yeah.
And then we have Daddy Hawthorne. Daddy Hawthorne is unhinged. He murders a man on the road to get his Providence card. And then he says, I thought of him while I plotted a way for the card to earn my family favor. But even when it did, and Ione was engaged to the High Prince, I felt no joy, only fear of losing everything I'd gained. I betrayed Elspeth because I was afraid that if Ione didn't become queen, I'd be a murderer for nothing. So it's not a good excuse, and it's still evil, but it's like, oh, I can see how he got there. Okay. He did these things to get ahead, but once he got the things, he had so much anxiety about having the things and keeping the things that he started to do more bad things, because if he lost those other good things that he initially got, he would have to live with the bad thing that he initially did, but now he's just piling up more bad things, and which is counteractive to the thing he's originally trying to do.
Yeah, he should have just stopped, really. I mean, you explained that pretty well. Or maybe understand it a little bit better, but I'm still like, no, that's your daughter.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a big old mess.
2 thumbs down for dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
What?
You have Hoth is being a meanie, and I hate Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off and he just has all the cards, and you're like, damn it,
he got them.
This is not starting off very well.
And he's got Emery, and he's got Raven's parents, and the other guy that I forgot the name of.
Fenrir, right? No, John Thistle.
Thistle.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
I love Emery.
Always.
Just like, it's like, you won't win. Not afraid. And then he does, I think, grab his wrist, maybe?
He lunges at him and grabs him.
Yes, and then says, "For nothing is safe and nothing is free. Debt follows all men, no matter their plea. When the shepherd returns, a new day shall ring. Death to the Rowans. Long live the king."
Ooh.
I loved it. That was so good. Probably one of my favorite lines.
Long live the king.
Just that whole, yeah. And just like imagining him saying it, probably with like, I think his eyes go kind of weird when he says something like that.
Like that. So Raven.
Yes, exactly.
And then Taxus uses his tree magic, and that was really cool. You know,
yeah,
like
that sounded really cool. The whole time I'm just picturing like roots flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And like out of the ground, and yeah, it just sounded very, very cool.
He's sucking the destroyers into the roots.
Is that what it sounded like?
That's I'll edit out that sound. And then Hoth is using the maiden card. Like, there just keeps being these things in place. You're like, no, damn it.
I know. It is so frustrating how well Hoth was doing.
Yeah, and then Raven gets wounded, and then it's like, okay, I guess Raven's gonna die now.
Oh, I was so mad at that part.
This is what happens in a good finale: is we need to be down, so that we can come up.
I'm like, Raven, I know you're tired, but this is not how this works with you two. You always beat him, and then then he leaves, and he's just invisible.
Yeah,
it was very stressful. Like, so I just have that. I was very stressed. Ooh, right. Okay, this part just sounds really cool. Nightmare stopped running and lowered to a crouch, holding his sword above the earth. He tapped it 3 times on hardened soil. Click, click, click. His eyes rolled back, darkness eclipsing our shared vision.
It's creepy.
Right, I love it.
That's like the golem coming out again.
Yes. And there's one part where like Ione comes back into the woods or something, and like just stands next to the nightmare. But then starts being like, can you tell Elspeth, like, I'm really sorry about Equinox? And I'm just like, what a time to have this conversation. And then Elspeth, like, in the mind is like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. Can you, like, give her a hug or something like that? Like, I enjoy this little side.
Yeah.
We know this all might go to shit, but I just really need to say this.
Give her a hug. Elspeth, I don't know what you smell like, but it's probably pungent at this point.
Yeah.
You should not be hugging anybody.
I mean, she probably does too, because she's just been trapped in the forest.
Elspeth is probably worse.
Yeah, that's very true.
At least Ione would probably try.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Anyway, we get the final moment in the one dark window little hut.
Yep.
Whatever it's called. The stone chamber.
Little.
It's not a hut. It's a stone chamber. And Ione and Elm are going to use Hoth.
This was so... I was just like, oh, I totally forgot how this was going to work again. Because you need to give an infected back to the mist or to the spirit of the
cards,
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out it's going to be Hoth.
They're going to infect him by letting in the mist, taking away his charm, and then use his blood, and then the deck unites, and then he's taken into the woods.
But they also stabbed him at one point, didn't they?
Yeah. So they stab him to use his blood over the cards.
Right. And I did like that they stabbed him, like, together. It was very, very romantic.
That's so romantic.
I know. I was like, I love
this
for you too.
Let's kill my brother together. Fun.
Yeah. I feel like, that's a moment you remember.
Totally. Remember that?
Remember that time we stabbed your brother together? And I think when he finally realizes, when I think he's talking to the nightmare and he's saying something to him, and then he kind of lets Hoth know, like, no, you idiot, I'm going to crown your brother.
Yes.
I was like, yeah.
The King of Elms.
Yes.
And he's going to start a new line that is not Rowan's.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to be Renelm Elm.
Okay. And another thing was when all this stuff was happening, and then, like, Ione and Elm are talking, and I was like, you guys, it's almost midnight. Like, it's been almost midnight for about 20 minutes now. I don't feel like we need to have this conversation.
I hate that so much.
And it's in movies and TV, like every, Yeah.
Hey, I just want you to know that I love you so much, and I know that there is 4 seconds so that we could do this thing and we all don't die, but I just needed to tell you that.
But in a really long-winded way. Can't even be like, I love you. Continue. It has to be at least a paragraph.
Oh.
It was like, you guys, we do not have time for this.
Well, maybe we're wrong because they did it.
I mean, they did. So, yay.
They do have a new Providence card, which we'll learn about in a second. That's what they end with. And then we also end with Jesper saving Raven.
Yes, right? We got a little last interaction with the nightmare and Elspeth being funny.
While saving Raven?
Yeah, and I just liked it. And he accidentally calls Jesper Tilly.
Yeah, because that was Tilly's power, was the healing power.
Yeah. But says, the nightmare gaze collided with Raven's. Elspeth says she's utterly sick of you. His voice was weak. She didn't say that. No, she didn't. I'm like, it's so fun.
What a silly guy.
Or when he comes in, he's like, it's hardly my fault, Elspeth, that I am constantly surrounded by idiots.
Okay, that's kind of mean.
But yes, so Jesper does, which is exciting for her.
Good for her to have magic for a minute before she gets cured.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Why did she even cure? I didn't even cure
because then you degenerate.
Oh, right.
Have you been reading these books, or?
Apparently not.
This is what happens when it takes you 6 months to read a book.
Yeah.
Forget some things. So the mist is gone. They can finally see the sky. That was pretty cool.
That was really exciting.
You can't see the stars? Oh, sad life.
Mm-hmm.
And the new card is the Shepherd, which cures the infection. So we get this new little card.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. I loved it so much. We learned that
the nightmare's leaving?
I love this scene so much. We learned that this whole time, Raven could have just ripped the nightmare card in half.
Yeah.
And he would have been gone, and Elspeth would have had her body back. But Taxus kept that to himself.
And even when he's explaining it to him, he starts off by pretty much saying that she can't use it because she takes everything in, instead of just leading with the fact that you just need to rip the card out.
Yeah. And obviously we know why he didn't tell anybody, because he needed stuff to do, right? He's like, I had my deck to collect, history to revisit and rewrite, a path to draw for you and the princeling, both of you kings in your own right. And I was not yet ready to bid Elspeth goodbye. Oh.
Okay, I do want to see my little part that I like that he said. He said, I thought I was the father she deserved, that I could carry her through this terrible, violent world. I hadn't done it well with my own children, and when I woke in her young mind, the first thing I felt, after 500 years of fury, his voice softened, was wonder, quiet and gentle. I remembered what it was to care for someone. And that made me want to cry a little bit.
Yeah. And then Elspeth starts to be a little nurturing to him, right? We see these moments in this book where Taxus is doing that for her, but that starts to be her role near the end too, which is cute.
I love how their relationship has come so far.
It has. That's why I like this part. I tried to reach out for him like I used to, but it was me, not him, trapped in the darkness. This time he reached for me. Just know that I'm sorry, Elspeth. His presence was a hand against my cheek. I was too long in the dark, and I'm sorry for that too, for I dragged you in with me. It was well worth it, I said. To unite the deck and lift the mist, to watch you right old wrongs. I'd do it all again, just to know you a little better, Taxus.
I do like before that.
Uh-huh.
Before we got sentimental.
Yeah.
And Raven says, do you want to say goodbye? To you, stupid bird? To her, parasite. Oh. They're so cute. Their banter.
I guess. So Elspeth says, I'll tell you a story. It always helped me sleep as a child. And the nightmare folded his hands over his lap and closed his eyes. And Elspeth says, there once was a girl clever and good who tarried in shadow in the depths of the wood. There also was a king, a shepherd by his crook, who reigned over magic and wrote the old book. The two were together, so the two... And then I couldn't go on. And the nightmare said, Elspeth. And she said, no, I'm not ready yet. And he said, finish the story, dear one. She says, the two were together, so the two were the same. The girl... And then he finishes it, and he says, the girl, and then... Oh, and then they said the final words, together.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Our voices echoing listless through the dark, a final note, an eternal farewell, and the monster they became. Oh. And then he gets reunited with all his children and his sister.
Yeah, which, yay. And also yay for his children that they don't have to wait around anymore.
They've been waiting a long time.
Very. 500 years.
And they were murdered.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get something even cuter.
What could be cuter than a wedding?
I mean, depends who's getting married. But Ione and Elm are getting married.
Yay.
Yeah. I didn't expect this when I read this the first time. I was like, okay, that was quick.
Yeah, sounded. It was a good little wrap up to have that done.
I guess I would only just say the last line. Unless you have anything to add.
I do like how she talks about how, or I think Raven notices her clicking and unclicking her jaw and making like the nightmare sound.
She's got a weird tick now.
Yeah. They're both like, "Aw, we miss him."
He was fun.
Yeah.
Remember when we almost killed a few people? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last line from Elsbeth. And though it had taken slow, painful time, I knew who I was without him. I was more than the girl, the king, and the monster of Blunder's dark, twisted tale. I was its author.
It's the finale!
Dun 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 dun. Finale. Finale.
Shepherd King. Welcome to the Shepherd King Award ceremony.
Yeah.
We're here. We're here to talk about our worst and best cocktails. We're here to talk about some of a few of our favorite moments. See if we have any cringe moments, a casting hill we'll die on, if there's
MVP.
a Medal of Honor, if there's an MVP, and of course naming our ultimate loser too.
Yep.
I don't think I have a Steve Buscemi. I didn't think of that.
Oh, no.
Okay. We did forget about the Steve Buscemi Award for achievement in multicasting, but now that we think of it, there's no one we cast multiple times, so I will take the award home with me, and I'll hold it until next season, because that's what Steve would want.
Steve can just get it again.
Fine, we'll give it to Steve.
Adam Driver. I think we should give it to Adam Driver.
He wasn't cast multiple times, though.
I know, but I just want to give him an award.
Fine, he can have it. He can have it. What about Jeff Goldblum?
Oh.
Yeah, you want Jeff Goldblum.
I feel like Jeff Goldblum should get it because I think we have cast him actually just multiple times in general.
On our podcast.
Yeah, so he probably he deserves it.
He's the Congratulations. Wow. Congratulations, Jeff.
Jeff Goldblum.
Okay, let's do our cocktail countdown.
All right.
For anyone that doesn't know, we are counting down. We count down our cocktails from worst to best. And then, whoever has the... This gets confusing because it's like whoever has the lowest score wins. Right?
But that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The point is, either I win or Jamie wins, right? Who did the best cocktails this season based on our point system that we don't need to explain to you because you don't need to know.
And we don't even know.
Trust us.
But I did win the last two.
You did, and you were 100% winning today. I'm just going to put that out there. So here we are. What's your number 6?
Oh my gosh. The Nightmare.
Yeah. No, that was that's obvious.
Yeah. But it looked real cool.
I
almost didn't want to put it last because it did look really cool.
I know.
I was really close. You know what? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it either.
Okay. I already said it though, so I'm just like, okay.
Okay, what's your number 6?
Okay. Because the Nightmare was so cool, and it went really well with the book, and I mean, so I'm not going to give it last. So last place goes to the Twin Alders.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And it wasn't even like the Twin Alders it's not bad.
No, but it wasn't great.
Number 5.
The Nightmare.
The Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nightmare, just martinis are gross.
Yeah, they're not good.
And I know that many people like them, but
I don't get it.
We're the ones with the microphones and we don't like it. So, yeah, it didn't taste good.
No.
And it was a vodka martini.
Yep.
But it looked so cool that we bumped it up.
That's
bumped it up one spot.
It really went perfectly with the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4.
I Love You.
Okay. So, Okay.
What do you have?
I love you. Wait, just to explain it. I love you is gin, lime, chambard, and ginger beer. Just for anyone who like.
Oh.
Just for.
In general, if anyone wants to know.
Mine was the maiden card.
Oh.
Which was sparkling wine, elderflower liqueur, and rose water. Mm-hmm. And I really liked it.
It was such a pretty drink.
All of the ones now and
yeah,
all of them are good.
Yeah.
So the maiden card I thought was good. It just, like when you sip it, it tasted so pretty. I just didn't like to have a lot of it. No. I was like, I don't really, yeah.
I mean, that's true. But it was the perfect drink for that. I just feel like you literally could not have picked a better drink. I've never had a drink that tasted pretty.
That's true. Wow, I should give myself more credit.
Yeah, it was but you already said it.
Okay, so. Take it back. It's my number 1. Number 3.
The Mist.
Yeah, I have the Mist as well.
Oh, perfect.
That was a London Fog, which is an Earl Grey tea latte. And then we I did it with gin and Jamie did it with bourbon.
Yeah.
And it was good.
I enjoyed it. And I love a tea drink, so.
Yeah, I'd try it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2?
I have the maiden card for number 2.
Okay, mine is Let Me Out, which is gin, lemon, chambard, simple syrup.
Yeah, very good.
Now, I do have to scold you.
Oh.
Because I realized when I started writing down the ingredients, I'm like, these two drinks are like almost the same.
I didn't. Because it's so far apart.
I know. Yeah, Let Me Out, we did last episode, and then I Love You was more near the beginning. And it was just a long time ago when we talked about it, right? Yeah. But they're both gin. They're both chambard. And one has lime and one has lemon.
Yeah. I didn't even realize I did it for this because it had been so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I have the chambard.
Yeah, there you go.
This works out great.
So obviously I like both those drinks. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, well, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is I Love You.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I liked the ginger beer stepped it up for me and made it a bit different. And I'm literally drinking it right now.
Yeah.
Like I have it beside me. I made it again today. So that's how much I liked it.
Now I'm kind of mad that I put it down somewhat. Well, I'm still happy.
There we are. Wait, what was your number 1? Did you say it?
Let Me Out.
Let Me Out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to do a calculation or is it obvious that...
I don't know if it is obvious.
I don't know either now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pause to see who won.
Oh, I won just by a hair.
You did win by a hair.
The reigning champion.
Yeah. I mean, one day I'll win again. One day I'll win again. Oh, fine. Oh, Jamie's the winner of the cocktail countdown.
Just gonna keep that crown on that I wear every day. My cocktail crown.
Next time you're not allowed to repeat an ingredient.
I know.
Not even simple syrup. That's your next challenge.
That's fair.
Let's talk favorite moments.
Okay. I don't have any quotes or anything.
Neither do I.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, other than one.
Okay. In general, just the nightmare comments and the sassiness.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few other ones, but I'll let you say one.
Okay. My only quote is "Not on your mouth, Elspeth."
Oh, that was my second thing that I had.
I just remember that moment being just so funny.
I was like, this is my favorite moment, also kind of my cringe moment at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, Elspeth is like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we already did that. What do you mean? Yeah, that was...
so funny. I really liked the scene where Elspeth, or the nightmare, whatever, same thing, mangled Hoth and killed the bad doctor.
Ooh, yeah.
It was like very violent and I think a little bit unexpected, like how violent and gruesome that was.
Yeah.
And actually killing the bad doctor and then how injured Hoth was afterwards. That was like, and then just covered in blood and then Raven comes up and, you know, you mentioned that part where he's like, don't look at me or something.
Yes. And it was very like, oh, so creepy. Oh, that's probably like the best one of those scenes. There's like a few of them.
Yeah.
Or even the one I just said with the tapping.
Yep.
And then the eyes rolling back and, oh, so good.
So good.
Another one I have is just, I really enjoyed when they were like standing in the street hugging. Mm. They had a really good like talk and it was just sounded like this really good hug in this moment. And I just And it was like market day, so they were in the colors, like visually.
Yes.
I was just like, oh, this just sounds like a really beautiful, nice scene.
It sounded like a good intimate hug.
Yes, just a really good hug. Which I did a wedding a couple months ago, and they had a really cute hug like that, where they kind of went into their signing, they came back, and usually like they like kiss again or put their arms up, and they had a hug like that, and they were like the perfect height where she was under his chin, and they just like held each other like that, and I was like, so cute. I made them do it again later. Like, can you guys just hug like that again?
Can you recreate that moment that was just between the two of you when you thought I wasn't looking? Okay,
Well, no, it was in front of everyone.
Oh, well, you know, you get...
Yeah.
The other part of this duology that I loved, so it obviously isn't just one moment, but Everything I Own an Elm.
I also have that, yeah.
Yeah, because we've mentioned that several times. Like, they were really stars in this duology, I felt like. Like some of it, like learning about the mating card, Ione coming back to life, like I loved that storyline, and then the love story.
Their like love story was, I feel like, the love story of this duology more than
Raven and Elspeth, for sure. The reason I think it made it a little bit more unique and like intriguing, they were two people who just really wanted to be loved and like believed in like goodness, and who like had been abused, and they just like found each other and just like truly just accepted and loved each other for who they were. It was like so pure in that way. It was nice. And they also had really wonderful banter.
They did have really great banter. Oh, I love them.
So I'm glad that we got back to it, because when we were reading One Dark Window, we're like, I remember liking Elm. Yeah, I remember that, and I don't like him right now. I know. So obviously, Two Distant Crowns, we're now like, okay, no, I get it now, because he's with Ione, and now he's like softened a little, and we get to see the other side of him. So we like him now. Yeah,
we understanding him more.
Yes.
I also like the two scenes where the nightmare cuts Elspeth's hair, and Raven's angry about it, and then when Elspeth realizes that as well. It was entertaining and funny.
It was very entertaining. The last one for me was what we just talked about, which is the nightmare and the Elspeth goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
It was very emotional, because there's so many ups and downs in this duology of, like, is the nightmare good or bad? Is he mean to Elspeth? Does he like Elspeth? Why is he so mean to Raven? And it's just like, and then at the same time, he's giving her relationship advice, and you're just like a little bit confused. What's your motive? What are you doing? And so we get some clarity eventually, and then we have just the ending where we see how connected he actually was to Elspeth, and how much he did care, and how much she came to care for him as well. And
they saved each other a little bit.
Yeah, and as much as it was like he was using her, and she was like, get out of my head, they also had a hard time saying goodbye to each other. So that's like, it like kind of like switched around a little bit. Oh, no, they don't want to say goodbye to each other, but they know that they need to. And it was just like, oh. They're
a part of each other. It was so a very like unique.
Satisfying.
Yeah, but a very like unique pairing and relationship, where like that was the star relationship of a book and not a romantic one.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, really, like, that's, like, the focus.
Yeah.
Which is just nice. Which is, I just think, another reason, in general, this duology was just so different.
Yes. Yeah, where else do you see them being the Nightmare and Elspeth, or something like it, being the star relationship, or the one that...
and, like, you're actually very invested in it. It's not...
Yes. Yes. All right. Cringe moments. Do you have any?
It was my cringe favorite moment. The not your mouth, Elspeth.
Oh, yeah. One of the ones... Sorry, what?
And pretty much anything Tiernan did or said is my cringe.
Oh, yeah. Daddy Hawthorne. Very cringy. One of mine is puke. When Elspeth pukes everywhere.
Right.
Super embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
And like I went on and on in that episode about, I would just worry, like, who's cleaning up puke? To clean up puke is... it's a nightmare.
Christine's son stayed over.
Pun intended.
And he puked all over my blanket.
I'm sure it wasn't as bad as Elspeth puking her black puke all over the party.
He's also a child and very tiny, so he really didn't have that much.
He didn't have a lot in him. No.
He looked really sad about it, too. And I said, well, now you have to clean it up. I'm not going to.
Did you?
No. I said, oh, it's okay.
Oh, you're so cute. And then I think those moments where I would get mad at Elspeth because I was just annoyed with her behavior, her bratty behavior, because she hasn't been socialized in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's cringe. Maybe I enjoyed those. Okay, take that one back. Alan being really mean to Elspeth.
Oh, yeah.
That was super uncomfortable. And then the other one is Daddy Spindle being clueless, and I just wanted to scream into my book. Be a better father!
What's wrong with you?
Look at her! God. Give her a hug! Tell her you
Give
love
her a hug!
Tell her you're sorry. That didn't happen.
No.
That's all I got.
Ooh, cringe, another one. Which we didn't talk about. Alan.
Alan? You mean Alex?
Alex? No, isn't it Alan?
It's Alex.
No.
Alex with a Y.
It's Alan.
Okay, I take back...
Oh, it's Alex.
It's Alex.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said. Alex is the cringe moment. Yeah. No, but you're... I got permission, so you must sit at my table. Oh, it's a no?
We made out one time.
Yeah.
You belong
kissed
to
one
me.
time when you had too much wine, so we're together forever.
I've been waiting here for 2 years for you.
No, I don't take hints. Thank you for asking. Congratulations, Alex.
Yeah, you worked hard.
You're a winner, baby.
You're a winner, baby.
Cast and kill you will die on. This is an easy one for me. Easy.
The doctor.
The doctor.
John Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Emery.
Emery, you're Leo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I really just...
Young Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Good picks.
Thank you.
Mine was Hugo Beating, who I cast for the Nightmare. So Hugo Beating is in Lord of the Rings, and he is also the bad guy in The Matrix. And he has this really deep voice.
I don't remember this.
Look him up. Listen to his voice.
Hugo.
He has the best voice for the Nightmare, I think.
Did we talk about this in the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Hugo?
Hugo. Hugo.
Yeah, and then Beating, like Beating.
Yeah.
Is it Hugo Weaving?
Oh, is it? Oh, I must have had that as a typo for a long time. I just copied and pasted.
I was like, literally nothing's coming up. Oh. Oh, yes, you, sir.
Wow. It's a bad autocorrect. Okay.
I was like, what a sad name. Also really good as Megatron.
Megatron? Well, that makes sense. See, he's a good voice actor.
Yeah, he has a very good voice actor.
He has a very deep voice. And he's older now, so now it's more gravelly. Mm-hmm. And he has a nice beard.
Good job, Hugo Beating.
Hugo Beating. I can't call him anything else now. Okay. Medal of Honor?
I'm going to give it to Bennett. He kept the U line or the Taxus line going. He was just, a good son. Tried to steer his father down the right track. And he had that really cool scene where he was like a superhero.
Yes.
He was like, you can't do anything to me.
Yeah.
Uncle. You didn't say that, but that's how I imagine it.
Yeah. Is Medal of Honor like people who've died?
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify.
But he's dead. Like, he does die.
He is dead. That's true. Mm-hmm. I want to give mine to Wick, just because I feel like nobody cared.
Oh my god!
You're like, who's Wick? Yeah. Exactly. That's why he needs a Medal of Honor. Peter's brother.
Yeah, he does. That's
he just dies with an arrow, and then everybody moves it along.
Oh no, his brother did mention how he went back for him to bury his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you're kind of the least important person on the trip when you die, and everyone carries on and see you later.
Yeah, that's nice.
I do want to give a secondary shout out to Ione, because she did almost die
twice,
or like die, come back to life. I'm not sure, but it was an almost. So just an honorable mention. But yeah. Congratulations, Wick and Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good ones. It's exciting we didn't pick the same one too. There wasn't lots to choose from.
Wasn't lots to choose from. Do you know how many people are dead? All the children are dead.
Ooh, good point. That's a very good point. Oh yeah, there is quite a few people. I think I just really had minority picks, so I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's not that many people. No, there is. You're correct.
Okay. We should do Ultimate Loser before MVP, though.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, do you have an Ultimate Loser?
I think it's pretty obvious.
It is pretty obvious, yeah.
Yeah. Hoff.
Yeah.
He's just really, really awful. A really awful human.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
There is like the crew though. I think Hoth is the worst of the worst, and then there's like Lyndon, there's Bad Doctor, there's King Rowan.
Ooh, Bad Doctor. Like
he deserves.
Yeah.
Hoth and Bad Doctor, we can give it to them.
Yeah.
Like they're the real
You're a doctor.
ones.
You're supposed to be helping people.
Am I losing it, or was the Good Doctor and the Bad Doctor related?
No.
Didn't they have the same last name?
No.
What was the Good Doctor's name?
That was Fenner, wasn't it? Fenrir?
No, that's Raven's dad.
Philic was the good guy. Good doctor.
Yeah, but wasn't the Bad Doctor's name Philic too?
No. It was Bad
What was it?
Bad Doctor.
It was Bad Doctor? In my head, they're brothers. One turned good and one turned evil. Is it Orith Willow?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I lied. Just in my head, they're brothers. Okay. Yeah, and even though these aren't the ultimate losers, I do want to give a shout out to Uncle Coward, Aunt Nerium, and Daddy Spindle, and Alex. But no, the bad guy crew, they take the cake.
Yeah.
Hoth, Lyndon, Bad Doctor, King Rowan. There's a lot of baddies, not in a good way.
I wouldn't even give the king it.
Yeah, no, true. He can be bumped for sure. Okay, Hoth and Bad Doctor.
Okay.
Congratulations.
On your deaths.
Okay. This is the award of the night.
Da, 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 da.
You will be awarded with
a gray dress.
A gray dress. A gray shapeless dress with crusted blood.
Yes.
You're welcome. MVP.
I'm going to give it to Elm.
That's a good choice.
I feel like he had such a great journey in both books, which we kind of talked about. And like him in the first, we didn't get as much, but just seeing him as that, and then obviously moving to the second one, understanding more what he really wanted, and just not becoming who he so easily could have become as part of, like, with his father, brother, just providing that love story as well with Ione. I think he also deserves another award to go along with his big penis that we were made aware of.
Oh, it's shocking.
What is that? I do love a broody artist.
Oh, yeah, he could draw.
Right? And he just always was in black all the time.
Yeah.
I really love the journey for him, and yeah.
The journey.
Yeah.
The journey.
And then he became king.
And then he became king.
And then he got married, and they're going to make everything better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
We
won't see, but...
We won't see, because this is the end.
Yeah.
I picked the Nightmare.
Yes, obviously. Great choice.
I thought he had a really great redemption arc that took 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked how it was kind of like the Brutus, Rowan, and him ended up being the bad guys. It wasn't like both were bad.
Yeah.
In their own ways, right? And so he got a redemption arc. So that was just like the thread throughout the book that made it so good. And he just had all these deep regrets that we slowly got to learn about.
Yeah, because he was really shitty.
He was. He created a lot of hurt and suffering for his kids and family and lots of other people, and it lasted a really long time. And he did what he should, though, which is he took over a young woman's body and he made things right again.
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it.
It is the only way. So, congratulations, the Nightmare in Hell.
Yay! Also, a shout out to Elspeth for giving up your body to do so many things. He cut your hair.
That's true. That's true. Now you stink.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. This is the end.
Congratulations to all of our winners.
Yeah. So next up, you'll probably be hearing our June book club pick, which is The Princess Bride. We haven't seen the movie or read the book, so we know that's something that's really popular and like a cult classic, and we just wanted to join in and why is this cool?
See what it's all about.
Yeah, and then you'll probably be hearing our new series that we're going to be covering.
Yep.
Which is I always forget the name.
Daughter of No Worlds.
Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent.
Yes. It's called oh my god.
You don't even know.
The War of Lost Hearts.
The War of Lost Hearts series. So there's 3 books in that one.
Yes.
So that's what we'll be covering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you are not already following us on social media, please join us on TikTok and Instagram. We are there, and we love new friends, and we think we're funny, but sometimes we're not. Sometimes it's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Really. So
we think we're funny.
Be patient with us. Wherever you're listening to us, it's incredibly helpful if you follow or you give 5 stars or you give a comment. It's really, really helpful and greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you. And toodaloo.
Bye-bye.